Yes, people, welcome back to Team Talk TV podcast, episode 57. Quite a few of us here today. Well, a quick shout out and a mention to our guest, Dapo, CEO from Counter Attack Podcast. Dapo, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's good?
Yeah, good, man. Good to have you here. We have Kev, we have Coach, and we have Nesco as well. So much to talk about on this podcast, and we'll get straight into it, really. We've just watched Manchester United beat Leeds United by 6-2, a quite ruthless display in front of goal for Manchester United. McTominay scored 2 in 3 minutes, and Bielsa's leaving his side open again, and Manchester United capitalised. So I'll leave it to you, Man United boys. Kev, Coach, what are you guys saying, man? That was an impressive result for you guys.
Well, it was a weird game, man. That's what I feel. I think it was a weird game because it's just like what you said. Like, United were just clinical. That's what it was. But for me, there's the same old problems there. Everyone's going to call me the Grinch because it's Christmas time now. But it's the same old issues I'm seeing with United. Too easy to get into our back four. It's too easy. It's too easy. That game could have easily been 7-8. Like, it's easily. Leeds could have easily won that game. You can't come out of games winning 6-2 and you still feel the opposition could have easily beat you as well. That means that there's gaping holes at United for me. Like, I'll take the 6-2. Don't get me wrong, because 6-2 don't come around often for United nowadays. So I'll take the 6-2. We've been clinical. Our midfielders are chipping in with goals, which is a good thing. Obviously, forward scoring and whatnot. So that was good for us. But for me, I'm a coach. So I look at the whole game and how it is. And I just saw it was like an attack v defense sort of drill. That's all that was going on, especially with United defending. The good thing about United was the discipline with McTominay and Fred. I think that was good for us because it always looked like even when Leeds were getting through our first line of defense, which was up front, we had a 4 and a 2 in front. So it literally looked like a attack versus defense drill. And we did okay, even though Leeds sliced us up a lot. Had a few chances and De Gea pulled off a couple saves and whatnot. But for me, I'll take the 6-2. I'll take the 3 points. But there's still massive problems with United off the ball. I don't think they work hard enough off the ball at all.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, though, before I come on to you guys. So I know you put your hand up. 2-0 up in 3 minutes, bro. I mean, McTominay, well, it's a fantastic strike in the first one, and the second one was well worked. I mean, maybe when you're 2-0 up, you've already got that little bit of freedom. I know it's so early, but I can understand where you're coming from. The way Leeds are, when they're going forward, they like to come very quickly. They like to make it like either a 5v3 or 4v2.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying.
For me, just what you're saying there, we were clinical, number one, and for once we actually scored first. That's another positive. For once, I mean, I think that's the first time in about 10 games that we've actually scored first and still look like we were under pressure in it. But listen, I don't want to come off as the Grinch and whatnot, but I'm just saying, I like to see the whole game, not just look at the scoreline and say, yeah. I look at the whole game and I can see there's holes in United off the ball. We're not good enough off the ball. Fernandes is not good enough off the ball, but obviously he negates that with what he does on the ball. So that's why we can't get onto him too much and whatnot. But off the ball, any half-decent team can just slice through United, and it's not good enough for me as a whole.
You changed your tune though with the whole game thing. Results used to be your thing. You changed your tune, bro.
So no. I'm saying
about play now, yeah?
The result, I'm saying the result, I'll take the result all day long because we don't score 6 goals like that. So I'm glad that we're cool. But I'm also not going to be naive to look at the scoreline and say, oh, we were dominant. Like Leeds, we played Leeds off the park and whatnot. I've been screaming United are poor defensively before the 6-2. We're too easy to play against before the 6-2. Anyone that we play against just get into our back four. That's why everybody keeps blaming our back four. Our back four's useless. I know our back four's not the greatest, but they have to come past our attackers, then past our midfielders before they get to the back four. So evidently, we're not great defensively as a whole, as a team. So,
well, Kev, do you mind if I just quickly share my view of the game? Obviously, as a non-supporter. So, obviously, I'm anti-United, but from a neutral perspective, I enjoyed the game, bro. It reminded me of like the late 90s, early 2000s, where it's none of this, let's put the tactic and all this game plan crap and all of this parking the bus. 2 attacking, exciting teams going for it. All right, you know what? We're going to come at you. We're going to come at us. It's like a boxing match, you get what I'm saying? And that's what it is. United, you outboxed Leeds today. You get what I'm saying? I don't even think that you can say you lot were clinical, because actually you lot were quite wasteful. Marshall had some sitters that I thought you should have scored. Fred, I don't know, in the box again, as you said, good game, but in the box he was a bit wasteful. You lot could have been 10 from. You get me? And I think you came the better off the chance. But for a neutral, like if I didn't hate United so much, the football that is one of the best games I've seen in the Premiership in ages. None of this tactics and thing. It looks like both teams just said, you know what? I reckon Bielsa said, listen, we can beat these lot. I reckon Ollie said we can beat these lot. You lot came out on top. But like you said, you hit the key on the nail on the head there about you lot being open at the back. On another day, fam, that could have been a 6-2 to Leeds. It could have been a 4-4. So I would get why you're feeling the way you are as you get me, what I'd call more a Grinch type of fan for United, as I'm the same for Arsenal. I get it. But I think with that kind of result, you got to be happy, bro. That's a good game.
I'm happy
you got to be happy. Yeah, man.
I just want to echo what you said, Nesco, before I go up to Kevin. As you were saying, you just said, one of the best games seen in the Premier League so far this season. I think Leeds United have, when people say what has been one of the best games, you've got that one. You've got the opening day where they played against Liverpool 4-3. Then
Man City as well.
1-1. Leeds United just seem to be fun to play against. But in their case, they concede too many goals, and obviously United scored 6. And Kev, what are you saying? Are you Mr. Grinch-like coach, or are you more optimistic or upbeat on Man United?
I'm happy we won the game. It was a nice shock to see McTominay's development. I mean, when he first started, I'll be very honest, I was not impressed at all. I didn't think he had the technical ability. I could see him as a hard worker. He's come a long way. Again, like someone that he's come a long way from what he first came into the team. And the energy in the way we started the game, that's how we should be starting every single game. It's like they were motivated. It's like our coach, Ollie, actually did his job in motivating the players. That everybody, the only person I was disappointed with was Luke Shaw in the match, because he just didn't seem with it. Everything was coming through the left side. The first 2 or 3 attempts, I felt like it was coming from his side. A couple crosses, not marking. The 2-on-1, he wasn't talking. He wasn't asking for anyone, Rashford or anyone, to drop and help him and support defensively. But overall, I enjoyed it. It was fantastic. The feet are firmly planted on the ground. I'm not wavered by this at all. I don't think deep down, I don't think much will come of it, to be honest with you. I feel like it's just good form. A lot of the standards have dropped in the league. A lot of teams are underperforming and we're doing okay. If that comes across as being a Grinch, I'm just being real, to be honest with you. When it's real, when we're doing something, you will see and hear the excitement all day long from me. I'm not going to protect it or fake it. I'll tell you when I'm happy that I will express that. But that's how I feel about it, generally. I support most of the views Coach said, to be honest with you. The team has got quite a lot to do defensively. And in the January transfer window, I hope that's where we strengthen, to be honest with you. We've got Jones, Bailly, Rojo, 3 centre-backs that don't contribute at all. It's always Lindelof and the big guy, the fridge, as we call him. It's always those 2 there. And I would like us to get a centre-back to help out.
Well, we're gonna come on to one of the questions that was asked on the topics that Samo sent me this morning. By the way, I'm really surprised between you, Coach, and Kev on a bit like your reaction. I hear obviously you want to be grounded, but I think when you score 6 goals, you've got to be impressed. But I'm going to ask the question, and I want everyone to be involved if they can. Are Manchester United in the title race? Is Ollie in the title race? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
If we win our game in hand, what, we're 2 points behind Liverpool? Yes.
Yeah. Dapo, you got anything to say there?
I think, to be honest, I think mathematically they're there. Like, you can't hide where they are in the league, innit? So you have to put them there. Whether or not they can sustain it is a different thing. But I think right now, I personally didn't think United would be anywhere near it, innit? But somehow, some way, they're there right now. So I think as the season goes on, when I really look at it, I'd like to say they'll drop off, but as things are looking right now, it's just looking like they're just plugging away, they're just getting through it, and they're just picking up points. And as long as you're picking up points, you're always going to be in with a shout, especially when you look at the fact that the people in and around them, so Tottenham today drop points, Man City, they'll drop points. Liverpool seem to be the only ones that ain't really dropping points. So I don't think they can keep pace with Liverpool, but I think right now you can't do anything but put them in the conversation. I don't think they'll last though and actually mount a serious one throughout the whole season, but you have to put them there right now because of where they are and how they're looking right now.
Kev, I saw you with a bit of a facial expression when I asked that question. Is there anything you want to add?
We're just plugging, like Davo said, we're just plugging away. I don't even rate the question, to be honest with you. I understand why it's being asked, but I don't even want the question to be asked.
I say don't rate the question.
Carry on with our business. Let's just keep going, and let's because we've been here before. Like I feel like I've seen this little temporary form. I've seen it all before. The problem is our defense. So if you watch the game,
oh, see what I'm saying, Shahab. This is my point, Shahab. You see that? This is our problem with United. Straight away, yeah, the problem is defense. No, it's not. It's defending as a team. That is our issue. We are too easy to play. It's not just the back four. That's not how you play football. Anyone at any level that plays football, you know, you're not just waiting for the ball to hit your back. Your back four is the last line of defense. And because that's their speciality, you want them to clean up all the mess that you've allowed to go through your attack and your midfield. That's their speciality. But we can't just look at the back four and say, because of our back four, and because I can say the same thing for our attack. I don't think Martial's ruthless enough. I don't think he's clinical enough. Like I don't think what you call it, clinical enough.
Coach,
James, hell no. Greenwood, all he does is just shoot. He doesn't know anything else but shoot. He doesn't know about through balls. He don't know about squaring it. He just knows about shooting. That's it.
Who's that? Who are you talking about?
Greenwood.
How have we jumped from defense? Gone from defense?
No, I'm saying as an example. The same way you said your issue is, I'm not sure about our defense. Well, I'm not really sure about our attack. To be fair, I'm not sure about our attack. Are we consistent enough? Do we bag enough? Do we make enough chances? Do we bag enough goals? I'm concerned about attack. So Kev's concerned about defense. I'm concerned about our attackers.
Yeah. All right. So let me jump out my point. That was all nice and well. But my point is, Greenwood wasn't on the pitch today, and we conceded poor goals. And we
I'm always hitting a nerve with you, bro. Just explain your point.
Chances that were created, Greenwood had absolutely zero to do with that. For example, so when the point of Greenwood gets brought up, I do not understand.
Is he not part of the attack?
Fred had a good game defensively. He was in position. He was doing his job. But McTominay was doing his job. If you want to assess it man for man, okay, who else was in there? Bruno Fernandes. He was chasing balls down.
That's not a question, Kev. You've gone off the topic.
Then you also have James. James was running up and down. So then where was it breaking down defensively? What was the issue? Coach would like to tell you, because of what Rashford was doing up front, that was the reason why the deficiencies was happening in defense.
Has anyone played football at a level before? I'm just asking.
About that.
I don't care what level you've played at. It could be 5-a-side, it could be 7-a-side, it could be 9 or 11. Anyone played, please. Because obviously my point is not coming across clearly here. I'm not saying Rashford is a defender or Martial is a defender. What I'm saying is, in this day and age, you cannot separate. This is not the NFL where you got defense and then you got offense. You can't separate your team like that. Yeah, when the other team has the ball, everyone is a defender. That is why, when obviously we'll go into it later, that is why you're seeing the difference between our 6-2 victory and Liverpool's 7-0. There's a massive difference in both performances. There's a reason why there was 7 and 0. Yeah, 0, as in like defending from the front, as in like Mane, yeah, as in like Salah, as in like Minamino. Them guys there working hard off the ball. That's what I'm talking about there. I'm not talking about, Rashford is a defender and this, that, and the other. I'm just saying, as a team, every team we come up against, and I see our whole performance, we're just too easy to go through. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I will just put it to a hold. Obviously, Kev has one view on the defence, you have one view on the attack. Quickly, before I wrap up the Man United and come on to Liverpool, who are the league leaders. I think, if we're being honest, I don't think United are having a bad season as it is. I think a lot of people had the picture that because they're out of the Champions League, they're not having a good season. So I think the negative side is, the Champions League and the fact that their home form is not great. But on the positive side, like you said, like Dapo was saying, mathematically, when you look at it, it's 5 points away from Liverpool with a game in hand. Yes, you've got to win that game, I understand. And then away from home, you've won 10 successive games in a row. So fair enough. It's interesting, but it's all about consistency. We've been here before, in my opinion, and I feel like when Man United are good, they're great. When they're not good, you can't find the right word for it. But time will tell. They've got Leicester, obviously, on Boxing Day, 12:30, which is going to be an interesting one. They've got Wolves after that as well. So maybe you might not pick up the point. So we're not talking about the conversation whether they're in the title race. But
Shahab, because I didn't finish the point. The point was, it's not. It is the defense. It's not all the defense. The intensity I've mentioned at the beginning. The intensity we started the game with, that was key. We don't start like that. Intense. You knew it was the players knew it was a dark.
Did the defense that start that intensity? Who started that intensity then?
No.
Where did the intensity start from?
From the back. He was starting from Bruno, who you tried to.
Oh, so he's at the front, yeah. So he's starting the intensity, and that's what's kicking us on. So you're admitting that when we start with the intensity up front, we're a whole different animal.
McTominay, I don't want this to be a back and forth, George. It's McTominay, Fred, and Bruno were the ones that, if you want to talk about the intensity of how we started the match, they were the ones who we're talking about here.
Yeah, you just made my point, but that's fine.
I said it in the group. We got a separate group. I said, it feels nice when no one's on the field jogging around, just jogging. Ozil used to do it for thinking Nacy. I remember Nacy used to get upset about Ozil when he's just jogging around. When the intensity drops, then you get the other players that also drop with the intensity as well. But there's no excuse for poor marking. And that is what Luke Shaw did a lot of the game. But George will have you thinking that Luke Shaw's poor marking is based on...
First of all, I don't even like Luke Shaw as a player. So I don't know what you're talking. You can point at Luke Shaw all you want. Like, if I'm getting paid 200 bags a week and I just can't stay off the kilos, then bro, I don't know what to say there. But
So Shahab, if you don't moderate these two, bro, it's gonna be like Claude and Ty. So but I think just to add my 2 pence on that point, I think Shahab, where your question is, where guys are arguing is, there's two sides to that point. There's mathematical title race, and then there's actual. Because I think if you ask Coach, for example, are we in the title race? You're not talking about mathematically. I think he'll say no. If you talk mathematically, then of course yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's the simple answer, in my opinion.
Yeah, cool. That's fine. Thanks for clearing that up. And let's go. Obviously, like you were saying, don't want it to brew over. But yeah, go ahead. Like I said, let me know, guys, in the comments below what you guys thinking. Is Kev right? Is Coach right? Are United in the title race? Let us know. Right then, we'll talk about the team who is top. My team, Liverpool, who won by 7-0 at Selhurst Park. A quite ruthless Liverpool performance. I don't want to be Mr. Grinch either, but I think we led 1-0. Absolutely delighted for Takumi Minamino. He's had a tough time since coming to Liverpool. He got his first goal. 20 minutes into the game, Palace had a great chance to make it 1-1. Ayew should have just squared it properly to Zaha. That didn't happen. And then the other 2 and the 3 goals Liverpool scored, ruthless. Mane, fantastic finish on the counter. Liverpool's 3rd goal, unreal. And obviously Henderson and Salah scored twice. Salah scored an amazing goal. Liverpool clear by 4 points. There were 6 points clear on the Saturday, obviously. Leicester, who beat Tottenham by 2 goals to 0 today as well. I'm buzzing. I have to be honest. I was buzzing from Wednesday.
Could I ask you something before you carry on?
Hey, go on.
Ask you a question. The post-match interview with Klopp, what was he talking about?
I didn't listen to it, you know.
Oh, so he wasn't complaining about the 12:30 kickoff now, yeah?
Oh, come on. You know what?
12:30 kickoff is now cool.
He has the same.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you know what, Coach? We'll come on to it. I was listening to you 2-3 weeks ago and I wasn't having it. But no, we'll come on.
You still want 5 subs, yeah?
Listen, 5 subs needs to be a must, Coach. But we'll come on to that. You're a coach yourself. You should know there should be 5 subs on the bench. So we'll come on to it. But I was saying Liverpool were fantastic, ruthless. From Wednesday night, when Firmino got that late winner against Tottenham, I think it just gave him a huge lift, a huge boost. And then Liverpool just took that forward and were very clinical. Any of you guys got anything you want to say about Liverpool? Can anyone come close to Liverpool? Is it still too early? Obviously, there were, Liverpool and Leicester were the first 2 last season going into Christmas. What are you guys saying about Liverpool? I mean, was it a ruthless display? Did you guys watch the game, Coach?
You lot were my pick to win it all. you had injuries. I did say, and I've said this for about over 18 months, if you get lucky with injuries, you and City, whoever gets the best luck with injuries wins the title. Same, it's plain and simple. For me, when you get the best luck with the injuries, and you lot have gone, when you've done the Premier League and the Champions League, you've gone through that period virtually unscathed. And finally, when you got injuries, I was literally sitting back. Of course, I'm a hater, I'm a Man United fan. So I was like, finally, like, you got some of the medicine that the rest of us have been receiving. Like, your big players drop out and your standards have dropped. So the fact that you're still on top of the league, I think it's just like, wow, that just shows you if all of those players, all their main players were still there, your title probably would be gone.
I think with Liverpool, even with the injuries, what's been mad is that they haven't dropped off. I thought that this year they were going to drop off a bit because the levels they've been playing at for the last 2 years, I was thinking you can't possibly maintain that again. So I picked City, but City haven't had the injuries that Liverpool have had, but yet they're still not able to reach those levels. Do you get what I'm saying? And like, so look, Curtis Jones has come in, and Curtis Jones looks like he's been playing Prem for like years already. Do you get what I'm saying? Minamino comes in. Fabinho plays centre-back as if he's been playing centre-back for 10 years. Get me? Fabinho at centre-back currently walks into any other team at centre-back. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Jota as well.
Yeah, Salah, Mane, like Firmino looks like he's ready because of Jota. Jota's coming. Firmino looks like it's ridiculous. And like what coach was saying earlier on in regards to there's difference between the 6-2 of of today and 7-0 of yesterday is that from front to back, Liverpool have always just looked relentless. But even with injuries or whatever, they're still relentless. Crystal Palace, at no point in that game did I ever feel like Crystal Palace were gonna do something. Do you get what I'm saying? Even at 5-0, like the clean sheet was still there. Do you get what I'm saying? They're just mad formidable. So that's why I said that question about United being in the title race, I can't see them challenging or reaching the levels of Liverpool. Mathematically, obviously, you have to put them there because it sounds nice and everything. But over the course of the season, what Liverpool do, and I don't think Liverpool have hit top gear right now. Liverpool still have people to come back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Iago.
Yeah, yes, it's mad. It's mad. So yeah, fair play to them. I think they're gonna do it. The only team that will come close to them, I reckon, is City. And City don't look like they're able to get it right and move through the gears.
Yeah, with Liverpool, I think that was their best win ever under Klopp, personally.
Wow.
I think that was their best win ever under Klopp. And for the simple fact, how clinical they were, how solid at the back they were, how hard they work as a team off the ball. And for me, Crystal Palace are no joke. Like, for me, on their day, Crystal Palace are no... Eze, Schlupp, Ayew and Zaha running at you. It's not a joke.
I disagree with that one,
For me, it's not a joke. I've seen them give big teams problems, Crystal Palace, especially at Selhurst. They're not a team that you can just turn up and, it's a 3 point. But Liverpool made them see that basic team. That's what Liverpool made them Palace look like. They made Palace.
I don't care.
When you have Ayew in your front line, who's a suicide player.
No, but hear what I'm saying. When I say Ayew, Ayew comes with Zaha. They work together in tandem. If you watch them play, and
Ayew messes Zaha up, bro. Did you see the pass that Ayew gave Zaha? But
you're talking about isolated incident. We can go over so many.
I can show you.
Go over so many decisions that footballers make. I'm saying
not Ayew in particular though.
Ayew is not in. I'm not talking about Ayew as I'd buy Ayew right now in my team. Whatnot. I'm just talking about what Palace did and what Palace do. For Palace. You're not going to Palace and blowing them 4-5-0 like that. Tell me who's done that. Tell me who's even done 3-0 out of all the big teams. 3-4-0 gone to Selhurst Park and just beat Crystal Palace 3-4-0 and just walked away. No one's done that. Palace will give you a game home and away.
I hear that. But
it's the fact that you scored 7 goals against them and you haven't conceded with their counter-attacking ability. For me, that's a mad statement. That's a mad statement to anyone in the league.
I'm not downplaying that statement in the slightest. To be honest, and I hear what you're saying about Crystal Palace, but I think you're giving Crystal Palace a bit too much credit, to be honest. I don't think they're as good.
I've seen what Crystal Palace have done over the years. I've seen it. I've
Yeah,
seen.
but I don't.
I've seen them go to Old Trafford. I've seen them go to the Emirates. I've seen them turn up. So for me, you're not just turning up and just beating them 5-0.
You've heard them. I mean, you've seen them beat teams one off like that. But if you look at them over the course of seasons, like Crystal Palace ain't a great team. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you said, you got Jordan Ayew up front. You got all of these subpar players that if you look at Crystal Palace's finishes over the last 3-4 seasons, like where are they? Do you get what I'm saying? Like
you not going off as Crystal Palace as a whole team over a course of a season. I'm talking about in any given match. Crystal Palace is a dangerous team. Hence why when you saw on the documentary when Pep's grabbing his head and scratching his head with his assistants, he's like, yo, who we got next? Oh, we got Palace. Oh, geez. Like, he's got all his team in there saying, yo, my analysis or whatever you call them, coaches or whatever, yeah, has come in and told us this next game we got against Palace, you need to take it seriously, boys. Don't take Palace lightly. Guys like that are not going to take these teams lightly if they know they can just turn up and do what they need to do. Palace have given me enough evidence that when it comes against the big teams in an isolated match, they can turn up. You're not just turning Palace.
Yeah.
There's a couple. I heard that. There's a couple teams like that. I don't think it's something we need to waste time debating on. I wouldn't say that's their best win. I would choose off the top of my head probably the 4-0 against Barca when they were 3 down under clock. But you can put that up there if you want. That's your personal opinion. But yeah, anyway, I don't have anything other than that to add to Liverpool. I think the results speaks for itself. These guys have all said the correct thing. Thank you, guys. Please make sure you don't let Spurs win the league, bro. That's it. Just carry on what you're doing, mate.
We helped you guys when we beat Tottenham in the Champions League final. So we'll take Arsenal support. Don't worry about that. But I just want to echo a lot what Dapo, CEO, was saying on Fabinho, on Minamino, and the mentality and the intensity Liverpool put. I mean, if you guys saw the Tottenham game in the first half an hour, it was ridiculous, the intensity. And our third goal against Palace was my favourite one. How we get into transition so quick. 3 passes, bang, Firmino, on form, Jota's out. Fantastic. And Liverpool buzzing. They've got West Brom next on the 27th of December against Sam Allardyce. I'm actually watching them play against Aston Villa now. So, we'll just move on to the next topic. Coach, I think off camera, we'll talk about the 5 subs thingy because we've just running out of time. Arsenal lost 2-1 against Everton. No win since October. We've got Dapo CEO, we've got Nesco. Nesco, I can just see the background on Zoom. Emery and Arteta.
You can see that, yeah? Oh, how did that get there?
Yeah, I can see. No, you know it's there. You know it's
there. How did that get there?
But Dapo and Nesco, I'm going to leave it all to you. The conversation or the topic or the question that was given to me was, does Arteta have to go? Now, I'm going to leave it to Dapo and Nesco, and then we'll get in. Take the floor, guys. All right.
Dapo, do you want to go first or should I?
Let me just quickly get this off because I'm tired of talking about
All right, no, go to.
I'm tired of talking about this team, to be totally honest with you. Like, everything that is happening now, and I'm on record of saying this, was always going to happen. I don't think any manager was going to come in and do a transition, a job with this Arsenal team and be challenging for Champions Leagues and challenging for Europa Leagues and whatever. It was always going to get worse before it got better. And when I say worse, I don't mean relegation. We're here fighting for relegation. I just mean we were always going to be underachieving as a club because people need to realize the level of club that we actually are. So people get so disappointed with Arsenal because they're still expecting Arsenal to challenge for Champions Leagues. They're still expecting Arsenal to challenge for the title. But you have to really just look at the team for what they are. Our team are full of people who are not good enough. On top of that, you've got a manager, and I'm not even here to say Arteta in, Arteta out. I don't really care about that. But the manager is in a job which is really and truly too big for him. Do you get what I'm saying? And the job, as much as he does well, as much as he did well, so with FA Cup and everything.
Was it big for him in July? This is what I'm trying to say.
No, listen. I'm on record of saying this. Like, as long as he's Arsenal manager, when he does well, I'll back him. But the job's too big. And when I say the job's too big, I mean any top manager, let's say a top manager comes in. I think with this current crop of players, you are always still going to struggle. So then also, just to wrap things up, I can't be here doing this all day. When people talk about Arteta in, Arteta out, I have no problem with Arteta getting the sack, because at the end of the day, as much as I don't think sacking is always the right way to go, because if another manager comes with this same crop of players, it's still going to happen. And until you have transfer windows, until you get rid of some deadwood and get real quality in, these things will always happen. But I'm not here to say sack him, but I'm also understand the business of football. And you can't keep going and having performances like this. You can't keep losing without any sort of repercussions. So I said a couple of weeks ago that as much as I'm not here to say, sack him, he needs to start putting some results together. He hasn't done that. So if I wake up tomorrow and I see Sky Sports News saying Arteta's got the sack, I can't complain about it. All I then ask is that if another manager comes in, you back him properly, and when we start losing, because it will happen because of the team that we have, we don't have any characters whatsoever in this team. So when we start losing again, my whole thing is, are we now going to be shouting, get rid of that manager again? Or are we actually going to give him time to actually try and at least get things right? Because this ain't something that's going to be fixed in one day, in one window, whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? But also, last point, managers also have to be held accountable. So when Arteta does wrong, you have to come and say, look, this ain't right. So yeah, that's me. I don't know if I'm leaving.
Dapo, what's he done wrong in your eyes so far?
What's he done wrong?
Yeah.
I think team selection a lot of the time is very wrong. I think the way we set up to play against certain teams is wrong. In the beginning, I was one of those that's just like, he has to play with 5 at the back because we ain't got the players to play how he actually wants to play. But we're playing 5 at the back and we're still conceding. Do you get what I'm saying? I think against certain teams, there's absolutely no reason why you need to be playing 5 at the back. Do you get what I'm saying? I think, like I said, squad selection, I think whether it's his fault or not, I think ostracizing certain players out.
Like who?
I think when
George, don't go off topic, George, because this is what you do. Don't throw the topic off. Don't do that.
Listen.
I've still got to go.
Let me just ask you
this. Hang on, George, because he said Arsenal fans first. Let's go in order. Then you can because there's still. Finish it, Dapo, because there's still a lot to say.
I think his squad selection. I think
don't let George lead you, fam. That's what he does.
No,
put questions. Now you're going somewhere else. Then you didn't want to go. Don't fall for the trap.
I'm staying to my point. So yeah. I think in regards to how he's treated certain players like Xhaka is not the same how he's treated Pepe when they get sent off. There's just like he has to be held accountable for his decisions. Do you get what I'm saying? And for me, that's it. I just think also if we sack him now, another manager comes in, recruitment has to be right in January because it's just such a mess right now. I'm tired of talking about him. I don't think we're going to get relegated. And in fact, we're too good to get relegated. We're too good to get relegated. But other teams have gone down with good teams as well. So, but I don't think it's going to get that far. And that's me. I'm out talking about Arsenal.
Ooh, can I go now? Yeah? All right. The good thing is now, guys, that I'm not going to shout today because, as Dapo said, it's like. You're at a point where it's like, okay, it's like you're numb. You're used to it now. Do you know what I'm saying? We're going into games expecting to lose. Now, before we start, I'm very, very happy with what Dapo said because me and him are usually polar opposites. And it sounds like for once, we're actually a lot more aligned. Now, one thing he said, everything he said, I agree with, and I'm going to add to that. The only one thing that I have to disagree with is that he said he's on record as saying this because here's Exhibit A. The reason I put Arsenal again, I don't feel Arsenal get any worse. I feel like there's definitely improvements made. I don't know where those are. He's improved how easy it is to break. So I can go on. Anyway, the point is he's there now, but I just want to say at the start of the season, when we had this team talk, which I was on, a lot of Arsenal fans, Dapo, and names I'm not going to mention because they're not here to defend themselves, were saying Arteta is going to do this, he's going to do that. Now, let's look at the picture that I have, okay? Once again, and George will tell you, because George, again, now he's changed his, and I like what some of the stuff George is saying. Because if we go right back to the Wenger era, when I told guys it is not about a manager. It is not about Wenger in or Wenger out. And I'm shouting, I said I wasn't going to do it. Let me calm down. It's not as simple. It's a very, very lazy argument to say Arteta in, Arteta out. Wenger in, Wenger out. It is a far bigger problem at Arsenal. It's clear to see. The structure, and George talks about this structure thing a lot, very well. It is broken. Whether you want to blame Vintakesh, I don't know how to say his name, Edu, the board, you can understand the guy is blasted 5 billion on the Rams. We have an owner. When you have an owner who does not give a toss about the club, you are in soup, my friend. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're now hiring a manager. Now, the reason for this picture, once again, guys, please understand my posture on this. It is for those idiots that really thought Arteta is going to come in. Kevin, you know the hashtags off by heart by now. Trust the process. We can see what he is doing. He is saying all the right things. People need to understand talking does not win you football matches and fancy press conferences. You can say what you want, wear your black Armani jacket, slick hair to the side. It's a big difference standing next to Pep in the dugout when you've got world-class players coming into Arsenal. For me, as Dapo said, it's too big and far too early. He let that gas get to his head. How could you be so stupid? From his perspective, it's a massive opportunity, a job. I guess you have to take it. Manager of Arsenal is not going to come around every day. He took a risk and it has failed. The only reason for this image here is for those idiots that told me Arteta is doing the right things. Arteta, trust the process. Arteta is going to change the tide of Arsenal. I'm sorry, guys. It's not as simple as that. Bounce, new manager, bounce. All these lines, it doesn't work for Arsenal. Every single we saw when Oli came to United and they had that 8-game run. People were telling me the same was going to happen at Arsenal. Didn't happen with Lundberg. Didn't happen with Arteta. I think we lost in Drew the first game before we finally beat United, which was his first win, incidentally. But you just look at the stats, what's going on. A lot of the Arsenal fans, the same Arsenal fans who were on the Emery bandwagon when he first came and were talking about 26 games unbeaten, these times you're including in that run, you have the audacity to include Europa League games and what EFL Cup. The EFL Cup that they've now renamed the Papa John's Trophy, for goodness sake. And you're putting that in a 26-game unbeaten run. The same idiots that were saying it's Emery's fault and Arteta is going to fix it are now the same idiots saying Arteta out. Stop this Arteta in, Arteta out, and making it an isolated incident. It is everything. It's the structure, it's the manager, and it's the players. Don't just, and one thing people need to start doing, after a game, if you lose and you don't know what's happened or why you lost, say that. You don't have to just reach from the sky and start grabbing rubbish and saying it's the manager. If you don't know, say you don't know. One thing I do know, anybody who says the problem at Arsenal, you've already failed, because there are several problems. It is not just one problem. There are far too many problems. As I said a few weeks ago on the show, there is a virus in the club. And you see players come to the club who actually used to be good, and they seem to pick up the virus. There is something, there are too many things.
Nathan, can I just ask you something?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Dapo goes, yeah. I know you've just listed all the problems.
All the problems that I know, because I'm not even in, there's probably more. It's probably more.
Issues. No one knows 100% what it is, yeah?
Mm.
What you can see and the problems that you've listed, where do you start from to solve them problems? Where do you...
let me even go on record and say this. I would not sack the manager now. I would let him finish his season and see how he's... Because you picked him, you appointed him, you said you were going to back him, and did you hear the statement that Edu had the audacity to put out last week? That, yeah, we're happy with everything's going and all this crap. Okay, if you're happy, see it out. Don't say you're happy and then sack him 2 weeks later. Let the guy at least finish the season. If that's 17th, if that's 18th, and then we play in the championship, and who knows, we might be the first team to fluke winning the Europa and playing in the Champions League next season and the championship at this rate. So I say let him finish the season. So I do not agree with sacking Arteta now. I don't think so. That's my first thing. Where do we start? Coach, you know the answer already, G. Pour money into the club. If that's what you're asking me, it's really simple. Pour a decent amount, actually show us that, you know what, guys, we do actually have ambition at this club.
At least that Everton have.
Yeah.
Can I just quickly say that everything he's saying is totally what I'm where I'm at with it. That's why at the beginning when Samson was talking, he said, Dapo is Arteta in, just because I won't say sacking. But sacking is not always the answer. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I keep saying if another manager comes in with the same crop of players, you're still going to get the same issues.
I think, sorry, Dapo, just to interject there, carry on, but it's not just, sacking isn't the answer. It's, okay, Who are we sacking him for? What's your plan?
No,
Don't tell me you're sacking him and then Neil Warnock is coming in. If you tell me Allegri is coming in and we're going to put money in, then you could. That's how the conversation goes. That's my point. Sorry.
I was getting there. So, and I think a big thing is, and when I said I'm on the record, I was talking about on my podcast when Arteta first came. I said I'm all right with it. Like, but whatever happens, this is going to be a 3-4 year thing. This ain't something that's going to happen overnight. But the thing is, because of where we're at as a club and it's such a mess, people always talk about Allegri. People always talk about Poch. You think these men are coming to Arsenal? Brendan Rodgers turned down the job. Brendan Rodgers turned down the job and decided to stay at Leicester. I think people really need to see the level that we're at as a club. Do you get what I'm saying? So then even things like you said, pour money into the club. In the summer, all you had to do, was you got Partey, you got Gabriel. It should never be an and or. Pour the money and get our two. Do you get what I'm saying? Get rid of Deadwood. We've got too much Deadwood at the club. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, look at this. So people always say, who we're going to get, We're not really going to get no world-class players. But I've just seen Tottenham go out and get Højbjerg from flipping Southampton. And he's got a brain on him and he can actually know how to play football. Like for too long, we're sticking with players who will always let the manager down. And every time we lose, the first thing I get people my mentions, Dapo, Arteta out. Like,
lazy analysis.
At what point do we now start looking at the players and just thinking they're not good enough? Because some of these players, think about it, they failed 3 managers, you know. Some of these managers some of these players have failed 3 managers. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
but that's where, sorry, Dapo, that's where we have to do then flip it back to the managers. Because if a player continuously fails you, why do you keep playing him, for goodness sake? So that's why I say it's not as simple as just a manager or just it's a collection.
Let's go. Just want to interrupt you.
Sorry.
That's all right. Let's go. 40 minutes in and you're my favorite Arsenal fan. I'll tell you that now. I feel personally that Arteta, is a results-driven business here, and he's not getting the results at the moment. For me, and I know what coach is going to say, I'm going to come on to him to wrap this thing up quickly. I feel like when you're still playing likes of Xhaka, Bellerin, Mustafa, Luiz, whatever, you are asking for trouble. Like you said, those players I've just mentioned have been there with 3 managers and they're still playing games. Listen, Arteta has to take some of the criticism there. I actually agree a lot with you, Dapo. I thought you spoke very well on the subject, and Nescar loved your rant. But Coach, I'm going to just quickly leave your thoughts. What's your thoughts on this Arteta thing? With all these previous podcasts, I know that you're saying, back the guy, back the manager. Just quickly wrap up and we'll go to the next one.
No, I'm saying clearly back him, because he's had 1 real transfer window, and even that wasn't even a normal transfer window. And then I'm looking at who he's brought in. So I'm looking at his main 2 players that he's brought in and spent.
George, if you're going to say who's brought in, bring everybody and bring who's kept as well. Don't just pick the good ones. Say all of them.
No, I'm just saying everyone's talking about money. Yeah, everyone's talking about pour money in. Okay, so let's pour the money in. What money has he been given? Yeah, I feel that Arsenal would not have went for a man like Willian if you had to pay 20 mil for him. He was a free transfer. So
you knew exactly who I was talking about.
But he's a stopgap. But Willian is not playing good enough. It's as simple as that. Now, Partey, you've been unfortunate with Partey, because when he's been in, you can clearly see that he's a good midfielder. Gabriel, he's shown me he's adequate enough at the back. Left-footed centre-back, comfortable on the ball, strong, etc. He just needs a partner. That's what he needs right now and whatnot. But you're not going to get all these players in one window. You've got to back the guy in a few windows to see what he can do at the end of the day. People are talking about, he's playing this player, he's playing that player. Please tell me these replacements that you have on the bench to come in for these players. Tell me. Can someone tell me? Who do you have on the bench to come in for these certain players that you're talking about? People talking about that.
Is that a real question? Do you want me to rebuttal, yeah? Should I go?
Who do you have for David Luiz? Give me one.
Okay, for David Luiz?
Yeah.
No, not David Luiz. Let's start with, because for David Luiz, we don't have one. I agree with that. We have Gabriel. Who do we have for Bellerin? He bought Cedric Suarez. What's Cedric Suarez doing there? Why is Bellerin in the squad?
This is what I'm saying, Cedric Suarez. We're not looking at...
No, but you asked, that's a question.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't know. What is Suarez starting for? Why have we not tried Ceballos in a more further advanced position? He wears the number 8. He's a box-to-box midfielder. Why is Ceballos playing like a sweeper? The guy's playing just in front of the center. For what? We've seen the creativity that he had when he first came. Why is Ceballos so deep? All I'm saying is you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you, by the way, my bro. I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but be balanced. Talk about both sides, bro. Arteta has made
That's
some,
what you
as
said.
Dapo said.
The people what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Arteta's 100% right. What I'm saying is that, yes, I've always said this before, and even go back to when I was talking about Oli, bad coaching will never overcome a bad infrastructure. Everybody knows that the infrastructure from the head down is not good at Arsenal. So cool. So if it's not good, it doesn't matter if it's Allegri, it doesn't matter if it's Arteta, it doesn't matter who it's going to be. Yeah, you're not going to get Arsenal to the level where they're supposed to be if the infrastructure is bad. Okay, so we've now identified, it's very hard. Kroenke's not going anywhere anytime soon. We've identified that. Cool. The infrastructure is going to carry on. Yeah, cool. If we've identified that now, give this manager, yeah, clearly who's young and up and coming and whatnot, give him the backing. For me, Arteta will give Arsenal the right DNA. That's me.
All right. So if the infrastructure is broken, how do they back? You just said they're. So you get what I'm saying? What was? It's a circular convo then. The infrastructure is broken. So who?
Arsenal fans, Arsenal fans, whether you're balanced or unbalanced or you're not really educated or you might as well just stop talking then. Just stop talking.
No, we're not. No, I'm asking you a question though. I'm asking you a question. The infrastructure is broken, but you're saying back. So who to back him? Who? No. Who's
I'm saying right now in Arteta's position, yeah, you've got to at least give him, which I agree with you, Nace. You've got to at least give him to next summer's transfer window. That's what I feel. I think after next summer's transfer window, he should be able to. Me personally, January you should get one player because January is very hard to get the players you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Player. In the summer, he should be able to get 3 to 4 players, and after that, I feel that Arsenal fans are well in their rights to start judging him from there. That's what I feel. Because at the end of the day, slowly he's sorting out the spine. Slowly. You've signed Aubameyang up front, you've signed Aubameyang, then you've got Partey in the middle, then you've got Gabriel at the back. That's a decent spine right there. You know what he's trying to do.
I fully agree with you. This is what I'm saying. Like everything you're saying, I agree with you. Unfortunately, we have one of the worst fan bases. So is this
correct yourself? The worst, not the one, the worst. That's what I'm concerned.
So you're saying that we should give him until what do you call it? But our fan base will never allow that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Our fan base will never allow that. Like at the end of the day, with this season, it's a write-off. It's a write-off. So listen, you have to just let him have the season out. Like I said, to be honest, if they turned around and said, no, we're going to sack you tomorrow, because of results, I'd understand. But I don't think that's the answer. I don't think that's the answer. But it's about if our fans will allow that to happen, because our fans still seem to think we should be challenging for Champions League. Our fans still look at Europa League and think we're going to win. You get what I'm saying? And it's not going to happen. So, that's
I get you. I get that.
Just going to wrap up. We've been talking a long time on Arteta and Arsenal, the situation. And guys, let us know, on your thoughts on Arsenal, Arteta, the way they're going, Nesco's run, Dapo's run, coach's view. Man, it's tough. Arsenal against Chelsea, Boxing Day. I'm actually looking forward to that one. I think it's take away all the stuff that's going on with Arsenal. I feel like it's a big game for Arsenal to just prove themselves and get the 3 points, and against a decent looking Chelsea side. But quickly before we move on to the boxing, we're just going to talk about one thing. Now, Zinedine Zidane has hailed Karim Benzema as the greatest French striker in history. Now, he's put those comments out in midweek. Boys, I'm actually a big fan of what Karim Benzema has done for Real Madrid. I think he's one of the most underrated bit of like football and striker that he has been for Real Madrid as a club. I think when Ronaldo is gone, you can still see Benzema actually being the main man for Real Madrid. I actually genuinely believe that. I don't know if he's elite like how Kane and Lewandowski is. Obviously, the greatest French striker. You've got Thierry Henry there. I think it's a bit wild for him to say that. What are you boys thinking about what Zidane said? Benzema, underrated, elite? What are you guys saying?
I just think it's great management, to be honest. Like, as a manager, he's gonna say that. You definitely have to put him up there, though, 100%. But I don't think he's the greatest. I think when you talk about French strikers, you put Benzema there, but he doesn't even lace Henri. Nacy just put Henri there. He doesn't even lace Henri's boots. I think Zidane knows this.
Whoa. Okay. Let's not get wild with it now.
I knew this guy was going to be up. I knew it. Go on. I knew this guy was going to be up.
Long time. Listen, Benzema's been doing this thing for a long time. And for that scandal, don't forget, only for that scandal, he has not been in the French team. Let's
That don't mean anything. That don't mean anything. I watch football with my eyes. I can see. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that don't mean anything.
disrespect
Like,
of Benzema. You couldn't lace his boots. Lace his boots.
Yes.
Not as good as him, but lace his boots.
Yes. It's the same way Henri, as much as I loved him.
Listen, Trezeguet couldn't lace Henri. That's what I would say.
Benzema, thank you, and that's I'm gonna let George go, and then I'll let him go.
That was talking.
It's the same way. Well, when I say lace his boots, I actually mean that. It's the same way. As much as I love Henri, he couldn't lace R9's boots. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he couldn't. He couldn't. Do you get what I'm saying? But
that's a wild shout from you, bro. I can't.
I thought it'd be closer than that. See, when you say lace someone's boots, that's really saying they don't belong on the same pitch, man.
Nah.
That's how I see it. When someone says that to me,
there's levels.
Totally two different worlds.
If you have your own two eyes, you'll see that Benzema and Henri, it's not even a discussion. It's not a discussion.
Okay.
Am I wrong here?
Let's go do it.
I used to try and illustrate this point. I came up with the tiers. Remember, Nacy? And I was saying you've got the Messi and Ronaldo tier 1.
At the end, I think it's going to confuse guys, and I know what's going to happen. It's going to turn into another topic, fam.
Lacing the boots makes it so. It's like what to what?
It's a figurative speech, innit? Like, obviously, yes, we know he could lace his. Well, yeah, let him. That's even a disrespect to lace one's boots. But let's stick to the. You know what? Let me just go in, because the reason this topic is here is because of me. A comment that I responded to in the group chat. Yeah. Now, I think this is how it shows you. Like, me and George, even though we clash a lot, we both got that old school mentality. It's so funny. What was the first thing I said, Kevin, when they said when that group thing was said? I said Benzema can't even lace Trezeguet, can't even talk to Trezeguet, let alone Thierry Henry. Now, you look at Benzema's career, yeah? Okay, he had a good spell. Was it Lyon he played for in France again?
Yeah, Lyon.
Lyon, yeah. That's where obviously he burst onto the scene. A lot of noise was... Say again?
Essien and Diarra.
Yeah. Okay, that's where he first... French league is kind of like, it's not one of the top leagues. If you do well there, people start, unless you're at PSG, everyone's like, okay, is he really good? We want to see you in Spain, Italy, England, innit? Cool. Now, Henri, this is a barometer that coach himself brought before in loads of arguments on the international stage. Now, we can say, yeah, he would have blah, blah, blah if he was in the team. Benzema won a World Cup, Henri has. Like Dapo said, I'm sure Zidane himself knows that Benzema is not better than Thierry Henry. It's not even discussion. I'm sure he knows that himself. It's a motivation thing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at Benzema, this is where Kevin started getting into the tiers thing. I now said, out of the top strikers on the world, he's like, for you to compare a current day player against a legend, first of all, I hate in sport when people do that. You compare a current athlete to a legend. Let this current athlete finish his career first before we even start comparing. Comparing errors is always a bit tricky. Benzema is not the guy that I'm even going to compare to Thierry Henry. I'm sorry. Like, I might look at an Mbappe in 5-6 years and do that. Yeah. Benzema? Nah. Now, let's look at Benzema in terms of his peers. When Henry was with his peers, he was top head and shoulders. I think everyone on this live will probably put Henry in their top 3. You're not going to put Benzema there. I'm sorry. I know George is probably going to be up because me and him was clash.
No, bro. What I'm saying is that I agree.
Okay. Because if we look at the top strikers of today, you got Lewandowski, you got Kane, you got Aguero, you got now Benzema. He's one. There's other Suarez. I don't think Benzema is a top striker. Is he one of the elites of this generation? I'm sorry, he's not. You look at his start of Real Madrid, he was back and forth with a Higuain. Now, they both did well in the team. He couldn't even displace Higuain. There was not, when Jose was there managing, he didn't even know himself. Who's better, Benzema or Higuain? Them two, they're top strikers. For me, they're behind those elites. You can't put them up there with Lewandowski, with the Agueros, with the Suarez's. So that is why I think from time you can't even compare with the elites of your own generation, your competition. Do not dare compare this guy to Henry. And I think Benzema, he should apologize for that. Why he said that? That's his Algerian brother. You get me? I understand it because them men are Algerians or North Africans. Please don't compare Benzema with Thierry.
Shahab, just quickly, to go against what Nacy's saying. What my thing is, Henry is better than Benzema. That's not even a question for me.
Thank you.
Thing was just Dapo's figure of speech. That's what it was. Yeah. Cool. Second thing was, when did Benzema get to Real Madrid?
2008, 9.
This was before Ronaldo, wasn't it? He was there before Ronaldo, no?
Yeah.
So 2008,
Just maybe one season before. Check it just
yeah,
to make sure.
2008. I think it was
You got
2008.
it? Let me check. Let me check.
2008 to 2020 in Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
Tell people, yeah, that's not no small feat because Real Madrid changed players. No, Real Madrid changed players like Real Madrid changed players, yeah, especially the striking positions.
Yeah.
Like water. Yeah, they got rid of. They even were happy to let Cristiano Ronaldo go. Probably the greatest ever striker there. They were happy to go. When it comes to Benzema, yeah, when it comes to Benzema for me is an upgraded version, yeah, all these years of Firmino. And I'll tell you why it's upgraded version of Firmino. Because for me, I think he's played under most pressure club-wise than any of these strikers. He's played under more pressure because Real Madrid is a different type of pressure. You don't play well 5 games, them white handkerchiefs are out there. They want you out of the club. So for the fact that he's been there for 12 years straight, and when it comes to internationally, we can't say what he would have done internationally because at the end of the day, the scandal,
Well, he didn't do it.
and he wasn't in the French team, so we don't know.
Okay. Do you know Benzema's never got? I'm looking at it now. Of all the top strikers that I named, they've all got 25 league goals in their league at least once. Benzema's never done that. Benzema in a long time. No. Please. Because you're talking about pressure. Pressure can't be measured, G. Pressure is a figurative thing. We can't measure it. Let's look at what we can measure. No, George, let me finish, because I brought this debate and I know why I'm saying this. 12 years, go and look at what Aguero has done in City in less time and look at the numbers. He's got more. All the people that I'm putting it on with, fantastic. Pressure, that's good. He's not elite. He can't compare with the names that I say. He's just a level behind. In that 12 years, he has not got 25 league goals once. And we want to say this guy is a top striker. He's handled the pressure fantastic. But you've had Ronaldo for the majority of that 12 years, who's taken a lot of that pressure off of you. That pressure has been on Ronaldo. Ronaldo scored and he's getting booed. There's Suarez, them man are getting 40 goals domestic, carrying teams on their back. Benzema has never, to me, carried Real Madrid. All the strikers that I've named, they have carried. Like, okay, let me ask you this to put you on the spot. Thank you. No wiki, no Google. If I ask you, off the top of your head, any of those strikers, if I ask you to name a defining moment or a mad goal in their career, you'll list it off straight away. Tell me one you can remember from Benzema, where he turned the game on. Quickly, come on. 10, 9.
I'm not going to answer that.
There you go. If I asked you that for Aguero, you'd go straight away.
That's a fickle question because I can
say... It's not fickle, G. It's not fickle because...
I can say the same thing.
Do you know what? Say the same thing. Coach. I think for me personally, I actually rate Benzema really, really highly. So what you're saying about Firmino, I fully understand. I'm with you on that. But
I even disagree with that. I don't care about that. But Firmino's a cam to me, bro.
But when we're talking about man like Henry, who finished the season with 20+ goals and 20+ assists in one season, like you can't.
But you lot are talking like I'm not agreeing with what you're saying. I'm not saying.
Okay, Benzema
for me is the greatest French striker.
Benzema still can't lace on his boots.
Okay, cool.
We'll just quickly wrap up. Sorry, guys, because we are running slightly over time. Yeah, guys, what are you guys saying about on the comments below? Obviously, just let us know. Was Zidane correct what you were saying? Do you agree with Coach?
No, he's wrong.
I to be honest, I actually echo majority of what Nessie's saying. I just feel like he's just a slight tier below the elites, but he has been absolutely fantastic for Real Madrid in his career, and he's definitely had one of the most underrated sort of time or tenure as a player. We're quickly going to round it up. We'll be very quick on this one. We're going to go to the boxing. Canelo defeated Callum Smith by points last night. Gutted for my boy Callum Smith, but Canelo just a different level at the moment. Anything you guys want to add? Anything next for him? Did any of you guys watch the fight? Because I was in bed. So
I feel like Callum Smith was actually going to do something in that fight.
Did I feel? Sorry.
Yeah.
I felt like because of his size, I thought he might trouble him. However, I felt like the different ball game that Canelo has, he wasn't going to defeat him. Personally.
I think when I watched that fight, even before the fight, I was thinking, because he's British, yeah, they're hyping up this Callum Smith. I'm not saying he's not good, but there's levels. And the moment he got in that ring with Canelo, you saw the levels straight away. Like everyone was talking about the height difference and the reach. Canelo from round 1 was inside, like getting close and punching him up. Do you get what I'm saying? It was easy. It was light work for Canelo.
There was a picture of Callum Smith's arm or his shoulder. Swollen. Yeah, top class. Yeah, I do agree with you, Dapo. Callum Smith is just one of the guys that I like. He's a Liverpool fan, obviously. So I wanted him to do well. He couldn't do so, and Canelo pretty much outboxed him. Anything next for Canelo? What are you guys saying about his future then?
No, I think he's still got a good future. Like even though I said it was light work, there was still some good things that he did. Do you get what I'm saying? I think if he just stays out of the way of Canelo, but now how do you do that? Because Canelo's there as champion. So unless he one day vacates or someone comes up and beats him, what are you gonna do?
What about Canelo and Triple G 3?
I think Canelo got that again. He's even that first fight. The first fight was a draw, innit? Officially.
Well, yeah, it should have been a Triple G win in my opinion, but yes.
I think so.
Yeah, the first one. The second one, I think I can understand Canelo winning, but yeah, that was a good fight. I'll personally like to see that again. I'm not sure what you guys are thinking.
Is Canelo still golden boy?
I don't know.
Is he still golden boy? You don't know.
I'm not into boxing like you guys.
Very quickly, yeah, on boxing, yeah.
They're in court, as I believe from the last I checked. They're still going through trying to separate.
Very quickly on boxing, yeah. Is Mayweather trying to poach AJ? You lot reckon?
Of course,
man. Why not, man?
He's the cash cow. He's the biggest draw in boxing, and he will be for the next 4 or 5 years. It makes sense. Why would he?
I can't remember the last time I saw Mayweather fly to UK to watch a fight, bro.
He's the biggest fight. He's the biggest.
He's not doing nothing else, is he?
Yeah.
All under lockdown over there, boy. So he's not really doing nothing. He probably just thought, yo, let me just jump on the jet real quick. Like Eddie just gave me the call. You know, Eddie's not getting no ticket sales like that. Let me just come and show my face. Do a little promo. Look how he was looking to rush out of there. Quick hug, and he was out of there. Like after party. That's what he was thinking about, boy.
It's positive though. The fight looks like it's gonna get made pretty easily between AJ and Fury next year, though.
It should, man. If Wilder don't step in the way, Wilder's the only problem.
Let's hope so.
You have to give Wilder hush money, innit?
I'm with Fury on the fact that I wish when he got asked about the AJ fight, I wish he just said, "Yeah, give me Fury." Do you get what I'm saying?
Nah. I like the fact that he didn't mention Fury because that's the mistake he made with Wilder. He made the mistake with Wilder doing the whole chasing thing, like, I want Wilder this, I want Wilder. And then Wilder just gave him the runaround. Now he's not saying nothing. They're just going to talk in the background. Even Eddie's not saying nothing. So that even lets me know that's their strategy. They just want to get the fight done, signed, and then they'll start talking about the fight.
I don't know, because I'm hearing something about Usyk. Usyk is mandatory, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mandatory for one of the belts.
He has to, so unless AJ wants to vacate. Or whatever.
Everyone was saying he's happy to do so.
They'll get step aside money. I think Hearn did really well when he came out and said, listen, if the governing bodies don't stop playing all these games where they're trying to force them, the Usyks and whoever, we're ready to drop all the belts and just put the best against the best. Because regardless of the belts, we all know, I think everyone in the world, even the casuals, know that those two need to fight. And that's be next. And that's going to be a theme because of the YouTubers coming into the market. That's going to be a theme with boxers, where the best has to fight the best. Otherwise, they'll just watch Jake Paul. That's rated and have numbers. And that's the scariest thing about it.
Yeah, and that's why I told Coach 10 years ago, boxing is to follow the UFC model.
Forget
now
UFC.
Now UFC makes more money than boxing, boy.
You get me? More money.
Yeah, bro. Go and listen to Eddie Hearn. I'll send you the interviews. Yeah, go and listen to Eddie Hearn, all these guys, fam. They're like, listen, we need to copy what UFC's doing now. Boxing. Okay. How can you have IBO belt, WWF belt, PWC belt, PCP belt, ecstasy belt? Guys, you can't. It's a mess. Too many organizations. Then that's just not even the TV channels. Now you got these. It's boxing is a mess, fam. It's a mess, fam.
Yeah, when I see Nate Robinson hit the deck, I just knew what time it was in boxing. So I can't take it seriously like that anymore. But we'll see. Anyway.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap that up. Then we've had plenty of discussion. Manchester United 6 leads to Liverpool's ruthless display yesterday afternoon. Arteta, Arsenal. Nessie, I loved your rant today, man.
Guys, thanks for letting me vent, fam. It's therapeutic. I needed that, fam, because Arsenal right now as Dapo told, it's depressing, bro. So
No problem. And
Yeah,
the
man.
Kevin Benzema talk after what Zidane said under the boxing. And guys, please make sure you subscribe to Team Talk TV, man. Dapo, CEO, thanks for coming on. Make sure you subscribe to Counter Attack Podcast. Coach, your book, Asset and Liabilities.
Yeah.
Check that out if you don't know what it is. We had a little intro about it on the start of the last podcast last week. Very fascinated as well, Coach. I still need to order it, which you keep reminding on Instagram stories. And yeah, guys, I hope you have everyone who's listening, regular listeners, new listeners, have a nice Christmas. And yeah, man, we'll be back next week, hopefully.
Merry Christmas, everyone, man.
Take care, boys.
bless lads, man. Take care.
Cool, man.